What's up, everybody? CHM Carnivores here. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Now, it is August, and so that means the August Grow Tent Tour. Now, everything is growing much larger, and things are happening in here that are going to require much longer videos. So what I thought I'd do today is give you more of an abridged, shorter version of the Carnivorous Plant Tour, and then sort of break it up throughout the month. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get turned around and enjoy. See you soon. All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And first things first, I want to show this absolutely gorgeous plant. This is Nepenthes Brutus, which is a truncata by Mariliana, and it is growing just great in here. This is a cutting from Todd's, this was a cutting from Carnivoro. Its last picture right here, these pictures last absolutely forever. I got this plant maybe a month and a half ago, maybe a month, I don't know. This plant, this picture looks like it came out brand new, and it was on there when I got it. But what's really exciting is there's going to be quite a large picture jump. This is the newest picture, way over here. It has still got a lot of ways to grow, and it is continuing to grow. So I'm very excited to see that. The Nepenthes Brutus will get enormous. It gets essentially the same size, maybe a little smaller than a Nepenthes Caesar, but it definitely gives it a run for its money. Now, speaking of Caesar, right next to that is this from Todd's Tropicals. This is my beautiful female Caesar, and you can see here it's got a nice, this is its oldest picture, so absolutely beautiful, holds on to them forever as well. But here's the exciting thing, and I know if you see the shorts, this is its newest picture, and so you can see it's got quite the large picture jump, and this is still a very small specimen for this plant. It will continue to put out enormous pictures. We actually have more growing down here. There's another picture forming, so it will be some of them get the size of 2-liter bottles, so very excited to see that. Moving on down with the giants, we have the oh gosh, let me make sure I get this right. This is Stillest Hour, so truncata by Homakua by Campolata. These pictures get enormous. This has taken a long time to picture for me in my care, but I'm excited to say it is producing its first pictures. And so here's one right here that is a very small, humble beginning to what this thing will be, which is a picture that is well over a foot tall, just an enormous picture. And so I am super excited to see that grow out. This is from Todd's Tropicals again. It has been focusing on growing its leaves, and as you can see, it is doing a very good job of that. It started off very slow. I was very concerned about it, and I treated it, and it is absolutely taken off. All right, so coming on down here, this is Nepenthes dioriana. This is an old Victorian clone. This is also from Todd's Tropicals. I'm sure you can start to see a trend here. And it produces enormous, very robust pictures. This one is not telling the story. This was a little one. You could tell that the plant was like, I'm not sure if I wanted to create a picture yet or not. But they get extremely colorful. And I am going to have to find a new location for this, because dioriana gets enormous leaves. So it will get leaves even larger than a Miranda. So I'm going to have to plan that out and get it to a different location. But the actual pictures itself get absolutely enormous. So I got some, I don't know what that is. So excited to see that. Here I've got a cutting. That's a Spectabilis by Platykyla. I'll show you a picture on that here in just a minute. Absolutely gorgeous pictures. I'm sure you've seen them before. They get green and brown, which is really neat. The little Rob Cantley, or the spatulata by Rob Cantley eyes, are continuing to do just fine and growing out. They, just like anything else. So my quote-unquote greenhouse, if you will, is a shed that the grow tent is in, but it's open to the elements. And in Florida, not only do you have the heat, but you have a ton of bugs. So I'm constantly having to fight pests off. And as you can see, some of these plants got thrip, because thrip love the new growth. They have been treated, so the new growth is going to be just fine on them, but I'm constantly having to treat the new growth for that. Here is another Rob Cantley, Spatulata by Rob Cantley, and you can start to see, if it focuses, that it's starting to get that red top on it. Now the cool thing about Spatulata by Rob Cantley is that it's an extremely easy grower, and the pitchers get enormous. Look up a spatula by Rob Cantley on Google, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, these pitchers are so cool. They get an enormous peristome that's extremely rigid, and then they get that body of like an enormous spatulata. So it's such a cool plant to see, and the fact that it grows so easy is just all that more fun and impressive to own. Next to that is Bioc by Truncata. So Bioc by Truncata is really cool. Here's a small picture on it. They get not as big as Truncata, but they certainly get larger than a Ventricosa by Truncata. But they have a very, very like not woody but stiff pitcher body, and then the peristome gets this very much like a scalloped look to it, like a Sibianensis hybrid. So it's so cool. Highly recommend people own that. Next to that is another one I highly recommend people own. This is Alata by Truncata. It is a St. Boy, good Lord. St. Conrad. I'm so glad that wasn't what I was thinking of. So St. Conrad, very, very easy growing. While this is a young cutting, or small cutting rather, it will grow very, very fast. And so I'm excited to see that. You can see I've got some Drosera Autolay in here. They don't like the same like swampy, super wet soil like a regular Drosera, so they do just fine in this type of damp sphagnum moss, and they will grow. They grow like root systems, and then they grow their plants off of that. Every now and then they'll flower, but for the most part, the way that they propagate themselves is through nodes underground. As they grow their roots, they'll sprout up new plants, and once they get established, they will create colonies very, very fast. So this one is, believe it or not, if you've seen the training video, or not the training video, the videos I did, several videos of like when a growth point breaks. This is what this is. This is a Alata by Caesar, so very similar to this, only going to have much larger pitchers due to the Caesar. But now it's got two main growth points, and it's got one node that sort of got halfway activated, and it's just waiting for its turn. Extremely easy to grow. Both of these will be giants. Both of these are gorgeous, and they look very similar. And both of these, here you go, it grows just fine in a home humidity and a window sill. So great conversation piece if you want to get that going, and also a great, just a great plant to have inside. Moving on down the line, here's another Rob Cantley, especially by Rob Cantley. Here is my Rob Cantley. This thing has been a struggle since the day I've owned it, but I think I finally got it figured out. I am worried about the temperature right now. Believe it or not, in Florida it is reading over 100 degrees. So I have an AC unit on this grow tent, but I mean, it can only do so much. So right now it is 83 degrees in here. And so I am worried about how that's going to impact the Rob Cantley, but it seems to be doing just fine. I broke that leaf because I'm a klutz, but the leaf is doing just fine. We'll continue to watch that. It's got new growth coming out. This is that, so that's the cutting I have. This is the Spectaculus by Platykyla. Tiny pitchers. This is a small basil. I cut the main vine, but they absolutely give beautiful, beautiful pitchers. Let's see if I can pull this one out. And yeah, it still doesn't do it justice. The peristome is very much like a lime green with brown striping on it. Here's something interesting. This is my, goodness gracious, Ventricosa by, I believe, Naga by Bongzo. No, Ventricosa Bongzo by Merliana. And so it is growing fine. It has not produced any pitchers for me, but it is producing a good sized basil. But it is actually starting to produce its first pitcher, so I'm very excited to see that. The pitcher itself is very like a coffee cup, like a coffee mug. It's huge, but very like squat, and so I'm very excited to see what that looks like. Next to that is a Ventricosa Naga by Merliana. So that is going to have enormous, almost black pitchers. So very excited to see that. It is getting in there. I mean, it's been there for about 3 weeks or so. So it's just trying to find its happy place, and once it does, it'll start growing just fine. Let's see what else we have here. This is, oh my goodness. You want to see what happens when you grow your pitchers too close together, your pots too close together?
That's the newest picture on the Marpesa by Truncata. I'm gonna safe to say that this is not the best picture it's ever produced. But yeah, that is the new picture, so that's healthy. It's just, it's seen better days. My bad there, Marpesa. But we'll produce big, beautiful, stripy, almost like Miranda looking pictures, but with large size. Next to it is the newest JB by Truncata, giant picture that is forming. I'm super excited to see how that grows out. I'm starting to run a little long on time, so I might just switch over to the thing I really wanted to show you in this video, and we'll continue the bench tour at a different date. But last but not least, I'll show the JB by Patient you guys have seen me talk about. It's got a new picture on it. Now, the main event, what I wanted to show you. So you guys know I've been growing these seeds for a while. Well, it's been maybe, some of them, this one has been about a month, and this one's been about a month, maybe 5 weeks. But look at these beauties. All of them have plants like this. And if I can get it to focus, see if I can bring it in here without absolutely, see that? It's got a little tiny pictures on them. They're so cute. Itty bitty pictures. I don't know what they plan on catching with those little things, but they are adorable, and you gotta like the effort. So I got these seeds from Carnivoro. Cool fact, right now Carnivoro is having a 60% off sale. And so some of these seeds they sent me 1 to 2 pods each. And they're like $6. So that's insane. But yeah, so this is actually a newer one. These are about a month old and they're growing. So all these are doing just fine and growing, and I'm super excited to see that. Biggest thing is I just want to make sure that these plants stay moist during this heat. They will do fine. That's the cool thing about growing intermediates, is they will do just fine in the heat. It can get up even close to 100, which is not for very long, which I'm at no risk of this tent getting that way. But anyways, let me show you one more thing. I pulled it out here to show you. So this is I'm probably gonna end up showing you all these plants, but this is Nepenthes Hiroshima, which is a truncata it's just a truncata by Wise Exotics. It is not the easiest to grow. It is a little bit ornery, but so here is its old picture. And so what they're known for, the Hiroshima, is size, so eventually will get huge, and stripes. They're very, very stripy. Here's the newest picture on it. So I am super, super excited to see what that one's gonna look like. It's got plenty of time left to grow on it, but I moved this plant to a different location to see if that would help, and it seems to be helping. It's got edema on it, and of course, I like to keep my pictures on for a while. But if you are gonna go to truncata, I always recommend that, but that is a tough grower. Sorry, my finger's in the camera. I'm over here fighting with my Maxima wavy leaf that struggled for so long, and as soon as I moved it to this location, has absolutely exploded. I don't know what it is about this location. It's unfortunate that it happens to be right where I need to stand, but it has absolutely come to life. It's got a couple pictures on it. Let me see if I can get one there. And then here's its newest one. What I love about this one is the lime green picture with this really cool purple. So this is a Nepenthes Maxima wavy leaf, and some of them produce striped pictures. This one produces all lime green pictures, but it's such a cool contrast with those purple wavy leaves. And they will keep that shape through the lifetime of the leaf. Highly recommend this plant. It was doing very well for me, and then this is one of the originals that I just was not prepared to grow. It's a very easy grower, but I just had no setup to speak of. But now that it has found its own and I got it in this location, it's just taking off. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to find a new location if it keeps growing at this pace. All right, so I promised to keep it short, but you know me, I'm long-winded. But I will continue to cover the rest of these in another part 2, part 3 of the August grow tent. As these plants get bigger and bigger, there's more to cover. I want to make sure to not only just show you the plant, but give you a little background on them. That way, if you're interested in buying them or having them in your collection, you'll know where to go to get them, and then also how to take care of them. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I so much appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you have a lovely day. See you soon.